SCP-4743, a proud product of Vandelay Industries. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures: SCP-4743 is to be kept in Anomalous Object Hangar Number 3C at Site 11. Any exits larger than 15 centimeters across must be kept closed at all times, and any breaches in the exterior must be immediately sealed off using on-hand materials until permanent repairs can be completed. Ingress and egress from Hangar Number 3C is only permitted via a two-door controlled access vestibule. SCP-4743 is allowed free movement within the hangar in order to facilitate behavioral observations. Containment specialists may temporarily hold SCP-4743 in a standard shipping container for experimentation, storage, and transports when required. No individual may carry any sharp objects or projectile weapons within the presence of SCP-43 outside of approved testing. In addition to standard testing, the HMCL supervisor in charge of SCP-4743 may allow Site 11 residents recreational access to Hangar Number 3C at their own discretion. Description: SCP-4743 is a collection of approximately 6,000 animate balloons of multiple colors. Though analysis has shown SCP-4743 instances to be comprised of non-anomalous latex, they do not lose volume to gas exchange and are anomalously resistant to puncture. SCP-4743 instances are able to alter the buoyancy through currently unknown means, as well as generate ionic wind by anomalously manipulating electrostatic forces for propulsion. Despite a lack of apparent sensory mechanisms, SCP-4743 has proven responsive to light, heat, physical contact, electricity, and especially sound. Though individual instances show only rudimentary responses in the form of moving towards or away from stimuli, SCP-4743 possesses a significant amount of swarm intelligence. When left to its own devices, SCP-4743 behavior most closely resembles a murmuration of starlings, flying around the hangar in a constantly changing pattern. Each balloon responds to the movements of its neighbors, allowing for complex emergent patterns to appear in the aggregate. If music is provided, the murmuration will move in time to the melody. SCP-4743 has also been observed to roost on available surfaces for up to 6 hours a day. SCP-4743 displays its most complex interaction with human beings. When one or more individuals enter the hangar, SCP-4743 will typically note their presence immediately. Balloons will float downwards, either individually or in the form of pseudopods, and playfully interact with whoever is present. Observed interactions include chasing and fleeing, tickling, play fighting, rubbing hair for static electricity generation, allowing individual instances to be used as sports balls while providing additional movement for strategic or entertainment value, forming walls and/or pillars to form a shape-shifting maze. Under rarer and as of yet uncertain conditions, SCP-4743 will form into a multitude of shapes and enact a stylized performance. Shapes observed thus far include tigers, zebras, elephants, seals, and various humanoids in circus attire. There are, however, two forms that have appeared within every performance: a female ringmaster and a male with an upside-down face. The latter individual typically does not participate in the performance, but watches from a secluded location, most often directing its attention towards research staff. Addendum A. It should be noted that while anomalously resilient, SCP-4743 is not indestructible and will evade individuals or objects that pose a threat. During testing, D-5809 was provided with a pellet gun and instructed to pop as many individual balloons as possible. SCP-4743 showed immediate aversion to the weapon and began flying in evasive patterns. When D5809 successfully popped one, it produced a high decibel sound similar to a human scream. At this point, SCP-4743 extended a large pseudopod behind D5809 and produced a static discharge of sufficient voltage to disarm him. The test was immediately aborted, and no subsequent destructive or antagonistic testing has been authorized. The popped balloon was recovered for analysis and showed no anomalous properties. It did, however, possess an unusually sweet smell. Addendum B. Shortly after initial recovery on 9/14/18 at 15:45 hours, a single balloon floated towards junior researcher Ellis and popped spontaneously, producing a scream, confetti, and a folded piece of paper. The document reads as follows. Verse, "You jerks, it's going to take me all day to replace that many balloons. I know it's not clinical or whatever, but if there's anything remotely human left in you, at least have some fun with them. It's what they're meant for. Lolly." Reverse. P.S. It's traditional to write something creepy on the back of these. So, banana slugs. The sender of the note is believed to be person of interest 233004, Lilla Lollipop, as SCP-4743 was recovered from an abandoned tent by MTF Kappa 14, Sideshow Bob, during routine investigation of GUI 233, Herman Fuller's Circus of the Disquieting.